All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
And Mr. Brothers come back at you, Lord will. The edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem El Shai. But before we get started, we'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash.
Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone, who rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Akim out here pushing his gospel and truth and his sincerity to the best of their ability given to them by Yahweh Shem El Shai. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. May the election of Yahweh Bashem El Shai, Lord willing, fall upon all your houses. Amen. It's Brother Quanda Wath, man. And I'm basically joined with me is the brother Yuwana, man, beloved brother, man, through the spirit. But yeah, man, as we always do, man, just hit these lessons, man, Lord will, it's edifying, Lord will, straight to the point. But this lesson we're going in on is ultimately these attacks on the power grid, that are happening here in America, which we've seen these attacks on the power grid, I want to say a few years ago, right? Attacks were happening, which attacks, over there in Ukraine and stuff like that on the power grid is happening as well, right? But ultimately, all these situations very well could lead, right? As we gotta continue to pay attention to them, right? Continue to watch, how these things are going to play out. But these things very well could lead to that, that darkness, right, in which we had seen, in the ancient Egypt, right? Esau can ultimately, be behind scenes, right? 2 Corinthians 2:11, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, right? His evil intent, his evil purposes, right? So Esau could be staging these attacks on the grid to eventually lead to, a staged EMP attack from, one of these nations, right? Whether it be Russia, China, so on and so forth, which ultimately will wipe out, internet completely, or all the electronics completely from basically all of America, if not a very large chunk of America. So that darkness, right, is right around the corner, man. Right? Again, Ecclesiastes 1:9, there's no new thing under the sun. Mm-hmm. So just as, it happened in ancient Egypt, it's going to happen in spiritual Egypt as well, man, because Babylon, aka America, right, is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, man. So we're about to see something like the time of Egypt, ancient Egypt, happen again in our time, man. But can we grab, actually, let me read this just a little bit on this. It says, attacks on Pacific Northwest power station raise fears for U.S. electric grid. It says a string of attacks on power facilities in Oregon and Washington has caused alarm and highlighted the vulnerabilities of the U.S. Electric grid. And I remember, I think it was Russia who said something about they can ultimately shut down, America's power grid easily, man.
Right.
It's at their disposal technically, man, because America is, that unwalled villages, man. America has no defense, right? Whether it be, cyber defense, whether it be, missile defense or anything. America's, is basically, it's an easy shot, man.
It's open house.
Yeah. It says the attacks in the Pacific Northwest come just days after a similar assault on North Carolina power stations that cut electricity to 40,000 people. Now that might not be, such a large number compared to, how many people total in America, right? There were 350 million or 325 million. Some over 300 million people are in America. So 40,000 isn't really a large number, right? But it's still a lot, right? It covers a lot of land. You know what I mean? So that ultimately is a large number in itself, But it says, as first reported by Oregon Public Broadcast, the KUOW Public Radio, there have been at least 6 attacks, some of which involved firearms and caused residents to lose power, right? So people are shooting, right? People are shooting at these power grids, man. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily, right, a hacking, right? People are just going and shooting up these power grids, man.
Damn.
It says 2 of the attacks shared similarities with the incident in Moore County, North Carolina, where 2 stations were hit by gunfire. Authorities have not yet revealed a motive for the North Carolina attack. You know what I mean? So again, you got these power grids ultimately, under attack, man. Which again is going to lead to, whatever it's going to lead to, right? I believe through Spearman, Esau very well could, you know what I mean, stage that EMP attack or do such things like this where they ultimately shut down the power grid, you know, which again is going to cause that, you know, that that darkness, man. You know, so if we can grab that Exodus and 11, and we can start at I think it's verse 9.
Come.
No, it's lucky it goes up. We get 4 and 5. You can read start at verse 4, right? Just getting to the points, you know what I mean?
This is Exodus chapter 11 and verse 4. It says, "And Moses said, Thus saith Yahweh, about midnight I will go out into the midst of Egypt, and all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die."
Right. So there was, you know, ultimately this is the last plague that the Lord was bringing upon Egypt, right? You can go back and read the previous chapters, right? And the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua ultimately set up Moses, right, to be that you know, sort of mediator between him and Pharaoh, right, warning him that if he does not, you know, ultimately allow the children of Israel to go out from them, right, all these plagues will come upon him, right? And all those plagues did happen. Yeah. Right? The water was turned into, you know, to blood, right?
Locusts.
Yeah, locusts, right? Everything was just, it was just, you know, and it gets worse, man. You know what I mean? Every single time that there was a new plague brought upon him, that plague would be worse than the last. And this is the final and last plague that the Lord was to bring upon Egypt, right? Which is ultimately the death angel, which we know Yahweh Shai is that death angel, man, right? Going in the midst of the people, right? Killing all the firstborn, right? Go ahead. Verse 5.
Verse 5, it says, "And all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sitteth upon his throne, even unto the firstborn of the maidservant that is behind the mill, and all the firstborn of beasts."
Right, so there was nothing but death, right? Scriptures say in 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1, know this also, right, that in the last days perilous times shall come. Perilous goes into, you know, full of death, man. Right, injurious or full of death. And so death is on the horizon, man. You know, and there's many different ways. Many different ways. The prophet's been going into it that death is going to come, right? Famines, pestilence, earthquakes, you know, Esau, Edom, right? These are the times that we're in, right? And this is just another way, you know, with the darkness coming, that the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai is going to dish out that judgment to, you know, starting with you Israelites, man, you 2/3.
Right.
You know? You can get that next verse, Bob Shaw.
Exodus 11 and 6, it says, "And there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Egypt, such as there was none like it, nor shall be like it anymore."
Right, man, because people were waking up to their children being dead, man. You know? Being straight up dead. You know, and I want to go through, can we go to that Wisdom of Solomon 18?
Okay.
And let's grab that, because again, you know, proving that, you know, this was Yahweh Shai himself, right, coming in and taking these people out, man, right, recompensing them for their evil and their wickedness, man. I think it was verse 15 and 16.
This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 18 and verse 15. It says, "Thine almighty word leaped down from heaven out of," we'll start at verse 14.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 18 and verse 14. "For while all things were in quiet silence, and that night was in the midst of her swift course, thine almighty word leaped down from heaven."
Right, and if you go to, you know, Revelations, the 19th chapter, right, it talks about how Yahweh Shai, how he's called the word of the Most High, man. You know, so this is talking about Yahweh Shai, man. You know, and our Lord and Savior, our big brother, man. You know, Yahweh Shai was that chariot, right, after all these plagues that happened, right, you know, to Egypt, which we're going into one of them, that last and final plague. He was in that chariot that was, you know, that pillar of fire by night and that cloud by day that was, you know, basically following and protecting the Israelites. So Yahweh Shai has always been there, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yahweh Shai has always been there, man. You know, and Yahweh Shai, you know, has always been dishing out that judgment. A judgment is going to come to a lot of you Israelites, right? Because you don't want to listen. You want to continue to follow in the ways of the heathens, man. Judgment is coming, man, just like it was in the time of Egypt, man. You know what I mean? Ultimately, in the time of Egypt, the difference is the time of Egypt, all Israel was delivered out of Egypt. In this time, the Lord is going to destroy a lot of you Israelites, man. You know? Go ahead,
bro. It says, "The almighty word leaped down from heaven out of that royal throne, as a fierce man of war into the midst of a land of destruction.
Right, that's Egypt, man. Right, all the things that were happening in Egypt, man. You know what I mean? They were constantly being beat down. We were in captivity, man. You know what I mean? And hey, it wasn't good for our people, man. You know, because ultimately, once that last pharaoh that knew Joseph, right, had passed away, what happened? It got worse from there, man. We were put into a very grievous and sore captivity, man, and it just got worse and worse and worse, man. You know, and the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai rose up, you know, of Moses to be that mediator between him and the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai and Pharaoh. Right, but again, the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart to come up against, you know, the Lord, and these judgments were dished out, man. You know, verse 16. If we go back.
Come, verse 16. It says, "And brought an unfeigned commandment as a sharp sword, and standing up filled all things with death, and it touched the heaven, but it stood upon the earth."
That's right, man. You know, so hey, it was, you know, Yahweh Shah was bringing that death, man, straight up judgment. You know what I mean? And it gets a lot worse than that, man. You know what I mean? And the Lord, Yahweh Shai was doing and showing some crazy things in those times, man. You know what I mean? It wasn't just, you know, people just, that death and then you just fall over and you die. No. Hey, the Lord had fun with it, man.
Yeah.
He was showing you horrible, horrible visions, man, and apparitions and, you know what I mean, doing crazy things to those people in the times, man. You know what I mean? If we can, get the next couple verses.
Verse 17. "Then suddenly visions of horrible dreams troubled them sore, and terrors came upon them unlooked for."
Right, man. You know, the brother was, I think we're holding Wisdom Psalm 17, talking about those apparitions. Right. If we can grab that just to, you know, expound on that a little bit more.
This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 17 and 3. It says, "For while they supposed to lie hid in their secret sins, they were scattered under a dark veil of forgetfulness, being horribly astonished and troubled with strange apparitions."
Strange apparitions, man. Or we're talking about demons, man. Right? We're talking about, you know, like for those that have ever seen like The Conjuring or, you know what I mean, whatever, you know, kind of scary movies like that. You know, the like straight up devils and demons and all these different things, right, were brought upon those people, man. You know what I mean? And a lot of them, you know, their hearts are failing them for fear.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because of these things that they saw. You know what I mean? This same account is gonna happen, man. And when Jacob's trouble hits, right? And then, yes, you're gonna have Esau eat them. You're still gonna have, you know, you're gonna have cannibalism. You're gonna have all these things. But hey, very well in that same time, you gonna have apparitions or demons walking around, man.
Yeah.
And taking y'all out, man.
Just like that movie, what was that, Bird Box?
Oh, yeah.
You know, them people looking at some of those monsters, and as soon as they look at them, they just want to kill themselves because it's so scary.
Right.
You know, there's no telling what the hell the Lord, you know, has up there, man. You know, that's why the scriptures say that the Most High King is terrible, man. The book of Psalms. The Lord's very terrible, man. And he, you know, he's the king of terrors. He knows exactly, you know, what you people individually are scared of, and he's going to bring that upon you, man. And there's nothing more scary than some 9-foot tall, you know, 480-pound demon
yeah,
that's coming right after you, man. You know, and you can hear his snarls. You can, you know, you can, like a brother said, man, it's gonna be so dark. You know, it really was dark in those times. You couldn't even see your own hand in front of you.
Right.
You know, but all you can feel is a damn demon breathing on you right in front of you, but you can't see him. You know, you can hear him. You can probably smell it. You see, that's the scary shit, man.
Hell yeah.
I'll keep going.
Yep.
Jump down, verse 15. It says, "We're partly vexed with monstrous apparitions, and partly fainted, their heart failing them, for a sudden fear and not looked for came upon them."
Right. So hey, people were having heart attacks and strokes and just dying, man. You know what I mean? Hey, the Lord is cold, man. He'll have fun with it, man. He ain't just gonna come down. You're just gonna you're giving up the ghost. You just fall down. No, the Lord's gonna have fun with it, man. Yep, and you give it the ghost. You know, the Lord's gonna have fun with it, man. He gonna send some, you know, some apparitions and, you know what I mean, some demons that look so terrible, that look so scary, right? That you're just gonna you can't take the sight of it, man. That you just die right then and there, man. You know what I mean? And then your body's frozen and that scared, you know what I mean? Like, oh man, that would suck, man. You know what I mean? Rigor mortis immediately takes hold. You know what I mean? Your body's frozen in a scared state, man. You know what I mean? That shit's scary, man. You know, go ahead.
I got two more verses.
Yeah,
verse 18, it says, whether it were a whistling wind or a melodious noise of birds among the spreading branches, or a pleasing fall of water running violently, or a terrible sound of stones cast down, or running that could not be seen of skipping beasts, or a roaring voice of most savage wild beast, or a rebounding echo from the hollow mountains. These things made them to swoon from fear. See, so just those noises, man, when you can't see anything and it's pitch black, but you can hear certain noises, man, your mind will start imagining things that's really not even there to make you more scared. Because that word swoon goes into faint. Let me see. I'm going to read it. It's a Google definition. It says faint from extreme emotion. See, people are going to be so afraid. Your heart's going to be beating so fast, it's going to, damn near explode, man. And you're just going to pass out from just literally fear, man. You see that? And that's why the Lord said that when he brings your fears upon you, he's going to laugh at you, man.
Right.
And like the brother was saying, the Lord's going to, have fun with that. The Lord is going to have fun, man. You see, and it's justified too, because all the time you had to get right and repent and turn back to the Lord so you can have a hedge around you in the times to come. You didn't want that, man. You see that? So the Lord's going to ultimately bring those things upon you, and he's going to have joy in doing it, man.
That's right.
But that was it, man.
Yeah, keep going on.
Continuing on, was Solomon 17 and 20. It says, for the whole world shined with clear light, and none were hindered in their labor. Over them only was spread a heavy night, an image of that darkness which should afterward receive them, but yet were they unto themselves more grievous than the darkness.
Hey, so it was bad, man. You know what I mean? In the times to come, right, when this situation ultimately plays out, right, when that darkness comes, upon spiritual Egypt, which we know is America, back Babylon the Great, virgin daughter of Babylon, right? What's going to happen, right? You're going to have the power grid. If the power grid goes out, what's going to happen? All these people in the hospitals, right, that are attached to these, attached to these ventilators and basically life machines. Hey, all that shit is gonna shut off, man. Yeah. We understand that hospitals have backup generators and stuff like that. Hey, well, if the hospital hasn't used that backup generator in years, that backup generator can ultimately go out of commission, man. So right when they're thinking that because they have backup generators, that their backup generators are automatically going to kick on, if it hasn't been maintenance and it hasn't been tuned up, what's going to happen? It's not going to run properly, man. And or not last at all, or maybe even not shut on or turn on, right? So, hey, guess what? All those people that are hooked up to these monitors, that are hooked up to these things that are keeping them alive, and all of them are going to die, man. And they're going to feel that. It's not going to be, immediate. They're just going to, slowly die. They might suffocate because they're on one of those, again, those ventilators, right? Which that right there, suffocating, that's a scary judgment, man. Yeah, not being able to breathe, trying your hardest to breathe, but you can't breathe. You know what I mean? Hey, there's many different, that judgment is going to go out, man. In the times to come, there's going to be a lot of death. A lot of death, man. You know what I mean? And mixed with these apparitions, mixed with mixed with cannibalism and these pestilences and so on and so forth. The time to come is going to be great. What does it say in 2nd Ezra, the 14th chapter? You know what I mean? Greater evils than thou hast seen shall happen
after you.
You know what I mean? Right. So an evil goes into what? Bad times, man. Mm-hmm. Hard times, bad times. And so these times are right around the corner, man. And this is why the prophets again are constantly on the highways and byways, doing video epistles at home. You know what I mean? Warning the people to get right, warning the people of these situations that are coming abroad, man. Because that if you don't get right, what's going to happen? These sore and grievous judgments are going to come upon you, man. Yep. And again, the brother brought it out. He quoted it right in Proverbs, the 1st chapter. We can grab that. He will laugh when your fear cometh. Right? The Lord is going to look at you and you had ample amount of time to do what he told you to do in order to be protected. But y'all despise his words. Y'all despise his prophets, man. Mm-hmm. Therefore, that judgment is to come upon you righteously.
That's right, bro.
Go ahead.
It's Proverbs 1 and 24. Because I have called and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded,
Mm-hmm.
but ye have set at naught all my counsel and would none of my reproof.
Right, man. Y'all would rather, go and listen to these, these TikTok videos of these Christian pastors, these motivating speakers, and rather than sit here and watch, right, and bear through an hour, not even an hour. Most brothers do 20, 30-minute videos, right? You know what I mean? Shorter videos, you know what I mean? You can't even bear through 20, 30 minutes of that, right? And learn something. Y'all want to go and watch those 3-4 minute videos of, you know what I mean, women shaking their ass cheeks, right? You want to, people doing those, going and hollering at these females, knowing damn well they got a man and shit. All this wicked, nasty shit, y'all would rather pay attention to that rather than listen to something that's ultimately going to put a hedge of protection around you, man. Which is getting this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's what's ultimately going to get you through the times to come, right? Isaiah 33:6. But you people despise the words of Yahweh Shemel Shai, man. Mm-hmm. What did they say to the prophets, man? They say,
prophesy deceits,
right?
Speak smooth things,
right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They don't want to hear the truth, man.
Nope. Like it says too in Jeremiah, it says, they proceed from evil to evil and they're not valiant for the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, man, these people want to continue to, stay in the wicked lifestyles they live, man, because they're comfortable, man. They're comfortable, living, wickedly.
Yeah.
You see that? And that's why when we, go out to the highways and byways and make videos on, certain things that people are doing to speak against it, the scriptures say he that rebuketh in the gate is hated. Loosely paraphrasing. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate.
Mm-hmm.
See, so our people don't want to change, man. They don't want to leave off their own ways. But the Lord said, He said, are not your ways unequal?
Mm-hmm.
You see, so you got to cast off your ways, man, and repent and turn back to Yahweh Shemel Shai, man.
That's right.
We're running out of time, man. Hey, the family of the word right around the corner.
That's right.
You got to think, too, if the power grid gets shut down and the internet's cut off, well, there's not going to be no more ministry.
Right.
You see, so in that case, then, you know what I'm saying, there's not going to be no more ministry, man. I mean, no the gates of mercy are going to be closed.
Yeah.
You see?
And that's beautiful. You made the point of, these people are stuck in wanting comfort, right? Mm-hmm. They're stuck in their comfortability, but the scriptures say that in thy security shall wrath suddenly come upon thee, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So, you being in that comfortable position, right, and staying in that comfortable position and not wanting to get out of your comfort zone and be able to grow, that's going to lead to your death, man.
Yeah, the scriptures say, woe unto them that are at ease in Zion.
That's right.
And then the word ease goes into free from worry or stress.
Mm-hmm.
You see, you're ultimately in that nonchalant, YOLO spirit, man.
Yeah. God, you continue on that.
Proverbs 1:26. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh.
Right, hey man, the Lord's gonna laugh at you, man. He's gonna mock you. You're gonna have, and the spirit of the Lord is gonna be on the brothers too, man. Right? The spirit of the Lord is gonna be on the Akio, man. So when we see that shit coming upon you, and there could be somebody that runs up to us, or we might see judgment happening to them. They might be getting beat up or whatever it may be, robbed, killed, split, but limbs getting cut off, and we're walking right past them, right? Cool, calm, and collected, right? Because the Lord's got us, right? And we're watching that judgment happen to us. Hey, we could just start breaking out in laughter, man. You know what I mean? Because you were warned. You one of those that came up to the camp, or we had told on the street, right? Just going about our business, told on the street, the truth. And you despise it. You turn your back. And now we're watching the judgment happen to you, man.
Yeah.
Hey, the Lord is going to laugh, man. Mm-hmm. The Lord speaks to the ministry of prophets. So you best believe, hey, the prophets are going to laugh too, man. You know what I mean? And that's going to be, you're going to hear that, man. The prophets laughing at you. Yep. You're going to hear that because that's the Lord laughing at you, man. You know what I mean? And that's going to be hard, man.
Yes, it is.
That's going to be hard to hear, man, because y'all been told, man. Y'all been warned many times, many times. Fucking Satan walking by. Nasty as hell.
Oh, man.
God, go ahead.
God, it says, when your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I
Right.
will not answer.
Right, because when push comes to shove, hey, you're going to be trying to call upon Yahweh Bashim Yahshua. You're going to be trying, you're not going to know the name. You're going to be, JC, no, that's not it. Yeshua, no, that's not it. Jehovah, no, that's not it. You're going to be trying to call upon every name. Every name. You're going to try to, you would say, what was that name that they said? What was that name? I can't remember that name. You're going to be trying to call upon Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, but the Lord ain't going to hear you.
Yeah, because ultimately, too, you go back to time of, in that time of Egypt, you know, the Lord passed over those who had that blood on their door, man, on their doorpost. You see, which ultimately, you know, Yahweh Shah is that lamb. Okay, and Lord willing, his blood, you know, covers us.
That's right.
Because all those who doesn't have the covering of Yahweh Bashim Shah over them, when the Lord starts to dish out this judgment in the time to come, as far as Jacob's trouble and all and shit hitting the fan situation, hey, the Lord's gonna pass over his elect, man.
That's right.
But the 2/3, man, they're gonna be delivered to the sword, man. You see,
That's beautiful. Go ahead.
it says they shall seek me early, but they shall not find me.
It's like you.
For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord.
That's right.
They would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices.
That's right, man. Go ahead.
For
Just finish off this chapter.
Come, for the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them.
Right, so you ultimately turning away from this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, hey, that's going to lead to your death, man.
That's right.
Period, point blank. It's as simple as A, B, and C, 1, 2, and 3.
Hey, well, the scriptures say, he that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer is an abomination.
Ooh.
So you people have turned your ear away from hearing, you know, the words of Yahweh Bashmiel Shai. The scripture say that many that perish in this life because they despise the law of the Most High set before him. So you ultimately despise these words, the Most High despises you, and even your prayer is an abomination.
Right.
So you might try to go and pray in the days to come, but the Lord, Yahweh Shai, is going to look at you like, who are you, man? You know, I actually remember that. The angel going to be right there with a 78,000 flat screen TV of all the times you denied the Lord and his prophets. Maybe even laughed at him, spit at him, talked about him behind closed doors. The Lord has all that on you people, man.
Right.
You see, the Lord's been keeping tabs on everybody, especially you wicked. You wicked.
Yeah.
Verse 33, it says, but whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely and shall be quiet from fear of evil.
Right, because at the end of the day, man, there's a balance to it, right? So just as much as we talk about, the Lord.
What the hell?
Oh, hell no.
Oh,
Esau.
hell no,
Weird
man.
as hell. Wow. But, just as much as we, we talk about the judgments that are going to come to the wicked, right, we also have to round it off by talking about, the deliverance, right, the protection that the Lord is going to do for the elect, man. All right, because those that fear Yahweh Bashim El Shai, those that do what he tells them to do in this time, right, those that get this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding now, those are the ones that are going to be protected, man. Those are the ones that are going to ultimately walk, and skate through the times to come. Yes, it's obviously, it's Jacob's trouble, right? It's going to be, it's going to be a test. It's going to be hard. But nonetheless, the Lord is going to help them through, right? It's going to be ultimately, when you have those open book tests, it's a lot easier than a closed book test. You know what I mean? It's going to be a closed book test for 2/3, but it's going to ultimately be likened unto an open book test for the elect, man. It's still going to be hard. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's going to be a lot easier for them, right? And they're going to be the ones that are ultimately going to make it through. Everyone else is going to be put to death, man.
Yep.
It's as simple as that. But is any more on that?
Oh no, there's no more.
Come on, man. So I mean, that was basically it. Just touching on the darkness that's coming. So unless you got something else.
Yeah, I just got one more.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, just to bring this out real quick. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 11. It says, "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before."
Right, and this isn't going again. That's not going into ancient Egypt, right? Which ancient Egypt was struck with those plagues, which we briefly touched on in Exodus, right? The Lord had brought those plagues upon Egypt, ancient Egypt, but he's also going to do it again. In that Egypt that he's talking about is going into America, right? America is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. These are the plagues that are going to happen back unto, or are going to happen to America, man.
Yep. That's right. It says, "And I will destroy all the land thereof."
Destroy all the land thereof, man. Because again, eventually America is going to be physically destroyed, right, by ICBM nuclear missiles, man.
That's right, bro. That was it on that, though.
That was it.
Yeah, that was it.
Hey, beautiful, man. So, like I said, that was basically it. Just wanted to touch on that point, man. So Lord will is edifying, Lord will is straight to the point. Want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Again, till next time, I'm going to say Shalom.
Shalom.